All right, so get ready because this time we're diving into the Matrix. And let me tell you, the stuff you sent over, whoa! Spanish, English, even what looks like a whole video essay thing someone's writing about it, gonna wild. I mean, this film, man, it's iconic. Trench coats, philosophy, the whole shebang.
It really makes you think how the Matrix went from 0 to 100, like rejected script, to a full-blown pop culture thing. It's almost like the Wachowskis, they pulled a Neo on Hollywood itself.
Okay, I see where you're going with this hack in the system. Yeah,
Hmm.
count me in. But how did they swing that? Was it that comic book background they had?
Oh, they definitely brought that world-building magic for sure. But you got to remember, even big shot directors, they get their scripts tossed back at them sometimes. Back then, the Wachowskis, they only had Bound under their belts just a few years before.
Oh yeah, Bound. Super stylish, smart thriller and all, but yeah, definitely not a blockbuster or anything. So I kind of get why a studio might, hesitate before throwing money at whatever they pitch next.
And hesitate they did. First time they went shopping the Matrix around, hard pass. Even their own agent wasn't feeling it. Can you imagine? Your agent betting against a film that basically rewrote the rules for action movies. It's like they offered the studio that red pill, and the truth was just too much to swallow at first.
So how'd they get Warner Bros. To finally take a bite out of that red pill, huh? What changed their minds?
Well, in a way, they took the blue pill.
Wait, what?
Not like accepting a fake reality or anything, more like they used the Hollywood playbook.
Yeah.
See, they wrote this other script, Assassins,
Yeah,
right?
right.
And that became that Stallone Banderas action flick.
Oh, right.
Didn't exactly love how it turned out, but hey, got him in the door at Warner Bros., got a writing deal, and a chance to pitch The Matrix again.
Okay, so a strategic blue pill. I like it.
Yeah.
Matt, even with a foot in the door, a 600-page visual Bible, that's next level. What was in that thing?
Dude, picture concept art.
Yeah.
They could rival, like, the most intense graphic novels ever. They had these artists, Steve Skroce, Jeff Darrow, both known for this crazy, detailed, hyper-real style. Now imagine page after page of that, showing off this dystopian future, how the Matrix worked, all those mind-blowing action sequences. It wasn't just a pitch. It was an experience, man.
It's like they built a little matrix just to convince the studio to make the big one. Talk about commitment. And it worked. They got their 60 million and dove headfirst into this world of simulations, philosophical questions, drawing heavily on Jean Baudrillard. Now, I gotta admit, his stuff can be a little dense.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Baudrillard, he's talking about how we're drowning in simulations, right? Images, media, and now it's just tech everywhere. It's like, he says, we end up in this desert of the real where we can't even tell what's genuine anymore. Everything's all jumbled up.
Yeah. So we're scrolling through Instagram, seeing these perfect lives and forgetting what it's like to just, exist, have a normal day.
Exactly. But The Matrix, man, it takes that and cranks it up to 11. What if, and stay with me here, what if all of this was a simulation?
Whoa. And of course, the big question, who's going to be our guide in this crazy simulated world? You got Neo, Trinity, Morpheus, these unforgettable characters. Speaking of which, can you imagine anyone but Keanu as Neo? Because I can't.
It's wild, right? Like, he is Neo now. But believe it or not, they considered a whole roster of Hollywood heavy hitters. Brad Pitt was in the running, Leonardo DiCaprio, even Will Smith.
No way. Seriously, what happened? Why'd they pass?
Scheduling conflicts, other projects, or maybe they just weren't ready for that particular brand of truth. Smith actually said he didn't quite get the script and went with Wild Wild West instead. Talk about a what-if moment in film history.
For real, can you picture it? Will Smith dropping those iconic lines? It'd be a whole different movie.
Yeah. Mind-blowing, right? But there's just something about Keanu, that quiet intensity, the way he shows wonder and determination. He embodies Neo, and the Wachowski, they saw it too. From the moment they met him, they knew. Offered him the role in a parking lot, no less.
Wait, in a parking lot for a movie that would change everything? That's kind of hilarious. But yeah, the rest of the cast, it's perfect too. You've got Lawrence Fishburne as Morpheus, Carrie-Anne Moss killing it as Trinity, and Hugo Weaving, man, he was Agent Smith. Terrifying.
And the physicality they brought to those roles, the Wachowskis, they insisted on doing as much practically as possible, real martial arts, the whole 9 yards. They brought in Yuen Wu-ping, the legend himself, to do the fight choreography.
Yuen Wu-ping. Now there's a name that needs no introduction. The master of, kinetic storytelling. Those fights that are more like dances.
Exactly. But The Matrix, that was a whole other challenge, man. Training actors, some with zero martial arts experience, to move like they were plugged into the Matrix, pulling off those insane stunts.
Yeah, sounds like a hardcore boot camp.
It was. And get this, Keanu almost didn't even make it to training. He did surgery right before filming, a herniated disc. They fused 2 discs in his neck brace for weeks, limited movement, the whole deal.
Whoa, are you serious? Right before filming all that crazy action? That's hardcore dedication right there.
Tell me about it. Because of that surgery, they actually had to rework a lot of Neo's fight choreography. That's why, if you notice, he doesn't throw many punches.
You know what? Now that you mention it, that makes so much sense. Never picked up on that before. It's amazing how real-life stuff can actually make a movie even more iconic. It's like they built Keanu's injury into Neo's style, made it his own.
Exactly. The Wachowskis, they took what could have been a disaster and made it work, even made it better.
Just like choosing that red pill, huh? Facing the truth, even when it's rough, can lead to something amazing. And speaking of amazing, we got to talk about that subway fight.
Oh, man, that's a masterclass in action filmmaking right there.
And it wasn't even filmed in a real subway ride.
Sure. Nope. They wanted to, but it was just too much of a logistical headache. So they built this insanely detailed set at Fox Studios in Sydney, where they filmed most of the movie. And of course, they rigged the whole thing for those Matrix wire stunts.
Man, and it looks so real on screen. That's some serious dedication to detail.
Absolutely. And it's not just the sets either. The color palettes, man.
Yeah.
The Wachowskis, they used color to make the Matrix and the real world feel totally different. So the Matrix is all green, right?
Right, like that old school computer glow.
Exactly. But the real world, they shot that with cooler blues. It's subtle, but it reinforces that whole being trapped in a computer thing.
It's like those green hues are like the actual code of the Matrix. And then the blues, even though they're kind of muted, feel more real, more human.
Exactly. The Wachowskis, they were geniuses at visual storytelling, no doubt.
Speaking of genius, can we talk about Bullet Time? I mean, that just blew everyone's mind. Still looks incredible. It changed action movies forever.
Oh, absolutely. Total game changer. It was like suddenly you could slow down time, but the camera keeps moving. So you're right there with Neo, dodging bullets in slow-mo. Never been done before.
Where'd they even get that idea from?
A few places, actually.
Yeah.
They were inspired by that anime film Akira, which used still frames to make it look like things were moving. And Michel Gondry's music videos talk about innovative, remember, Star Guitar by the Chemical Brothers?
Yeah, with the miniatures and forced perspective. So cool.
Exactly. Gondry was all about bending reality with his videos. So anyway, to do Bullet Time, they used a rig with like a zillion still cameras. They would each take a picture a split second after the one before it. Then they stitched those images together digitally and bam, seamless slow motion.
That's incredible. They weren't just filming a scene. They were basically directing time itself.
Exactly. And that's what makes The Matrix so groundbreaking. That attention to detail, that drive to push the limits. It's a one-of-a-kind film. And get this, even with all that high-tech wizardry, they still found a way to sneak in a little bit of everyday life.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Remember that digital rain? You know, that iconic green code that's like the visual language of The Matrix?
Dude, it's one of the most recognizable things in movie history. What do you mean sneak?
So, those weird symbols that look like they hold the secrets to the universe? Not some high-tech code, my friend.
No way.
The production designer, Simon Whiteley, he based them on his wife's Japanese cookbooks.
Hold up. You're telling me that green code raining down the screen is dot sushi recipes?
You got it. Talk about finding inspiration in the most unexpected places. The Wachowskis, man, they were masters at blending that mind-blowing sci-fi with these little winks at reality.
That's genius. Even the code is like another simulation, another layer of the illusion. It drives home that whole theme, blurring the lines between what's real and what we think is real. And honestly, with all this AI stuff, virtual reality, The Matrix just feels even more relevant now than it did back in the day.
No doubt. Like, they took that red pill and saw the future, man. This was 1999, remember. Y2K was freaking everyone out. Everyone thought technology was going to go haywire.
Oh, totally. Everyone thought computers were going to explode at midnight on New Year's Eve.
Exactly. And then, bam, the Matrix drops. And it's like, what if the machines are already in charge? What if we're already there, man?
And it wasn't just tech. It was culture, too, right? The Matrix was more than a movie. It was like this phenomenon. People were debating it, dressing like it, even quoting it in everyday conversations.
No doubt. Suddenly, everyone thought they were plugged into some machine, and those long black coats, the shades, iconic.
So iconic.
The Wachowskis and their costume designer, Kim Barrett, they knew what they were doing. Created a look that was futuristic, but also timeless, cool, and kind of rebellious all at the same time.
Yeah.
And the music, that soundtrack, pure adrenaline, industrial rock, electronic beats, it just captured that whole vibe. That energy, the angst.
Dude, it's one of those soundtracks I can still put on and it just takes me right back.
Sonic world building at its finest. The Wachowskis? They were meticulous about everything, from the cast to those mind-blowing visuals to the music. They didn't just want to make a great action movie. They wanted to create a whole experience.
Mission accomplished. They pushed the boundaries, did things no one had ever done before, and that's probably why it had such a huge impact, even outside the theater.
Oh, without a doubt. You can see the Matrix everywhere. All those Hollywood blockbusters using wire-fu now. Inception, Ex Machina, those themes. Video games, anime, fashion. It's everywhere. Remember those Charlie's Angels movies with the crazy gravity-defying fights? Matrix, all the way. And that gun kata in Equilibrium, straight out of Neo's playbook.
Totally. It's like the Matrix cracked open this whole new way of looking at action, you know? Speaking of which, remember how Chad Stahelski got his start? He was Keanu's stunt double and then bam, directing the John Wick movies.
Talk about taking that red pill and forging your own path.
Yeah.
And you can see that Matrix DNA in those films, the action, the style, the world they built.
For sure. So, The Matrix. We got sequels, animated stuff, even video games. Did they ever manage to recapture that magic, though?
Man, it's tough to top a masterpiece, you know. Reloaded and Revolutions, they went for it, filmed them back to back, released them in the same year.
Whoa, that's a whole lot of Matrix.
They definitely got people talking. Some folks loved how they dove deeper into the story, the whole human-machine war, where the Matrix came from, what it means to be the one. Others thought it got a little too complicated, too much talking, not enough of that raw energy from the first one.
So, classic sequel dilemma. Give the people what they want or risk it all trying something new.
And then there's the Animatrix, which was a collection of animated shorts. But these weren't just any shorts. They got some of the biggest names in anime to direct them.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Were the Wachowskis involved at all, or was it more hands-off?
Oh, they were very involved. Oversaw the whole thing, even wrote a few of the shorts themselves. The Animatrix let them explore the Matrix world in a whole new way. Different visual styles, different stories. It's like a peek behind the curtain.
So essential viewing for any diehard fan, then.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It shows that sometimes the best sequels, the best expansions of a story are the ones that take us deeper, you know, make us think about things in a new way.
Speaking of new ways of thinking, the Wachowskis weren't done with those red pills just yet. They jumped back into the Matrix in 2021 with Resurrections. What was that like?
Resurrections was interesting. It wasn't really trying to recreate that same action-packed vibe as the original. It was more about looking back, you know, reflecting.
So, a more introspective, questioning the whole idea of sequels, even.
Exactly. It was a bold move, revisiting this world, these characters, after all this time. And of course, it split the fan base, like any good Matrix movie should.
That sounds about right. It's like the Wachowskis were handing us another red pill, making us question what we thought we knew, even our own memories of these characters and their story.
And that's the thing about the Matrix, isn't it? It makes you think.
Yeah.
It challenges you. It really does. It really does. It makes you wonder, though, does it go beyond just a good time, you know?
Yeah.
Can we really take these big questions about reality, free will, destiny, all that, and actually, like, live them, make them mean something?
I mean, that's the heart of it all, right? It's not just about cool fights and crazy special effects. It's about those conversations that stick with you. Like, what if we really are in a simulation that's both freaky and kind of awesome at the same time?
The ultimate red pill, right. And listen, we might never know for sure about the whole simulation thing, but it's those questions that get you thinking, what if everything we see is, like, totally wrong? What if there's way more going on than we even realize?
Exactly. That's what I love about this film. It makes you question everything, you know? Don't just accept what you see, dig deeper.
Exactly. Be curious. Think for yourself. Just like Neo when he's like, all right, let's see how deep this rabbit hole goes. That's powerful stuff. Being willing to challenge what you think you know.
It's like that moment when Morpheus lays it out for him. Red pill or blue pill. You take the red pill, you're choosing the truth, even if it hurts, even if it flips your world upside down.
And let's be real, we all face that choice every single day in different ways. Do we just accept what people tell us, or do we try to find our own truth?
So how do we do that? How do we become more like Neo? Hacking the system, fighting for what we believe in.
It starts with looking inward, you know?
Yeah.
The Matrix, it's all about control, right? And those systems of control, they're everywhere in the real world too. Social pressure, things we believe that hold us back, our own fears. First step is seeing those systems for what they are, seeing how they're messing with us.
So we got to question what's going on inside our own heads just as much as what's going on out there in the world.
Bingo. Examine your beliefs, your biases, all of it. Break free from anything that's holding you back.
Which brings us back to free will versus destiny. Is our path already laid out for us, or can we actually change our fate?
Oh man, the age-old question. The Matrix kind of says it's both, you know? Neo's got a destiny, he's the one, but he still gets to choose what to do with that.
Like when he decides to just trust his gut, right? He believes in something bigger than himself, even if it means going against the architect and everything he thought he understood. It's a good reminder that we all have that power to choose.
Absolutely. We might not be the one fighting robots and saving the world or whatever, but we all make choices that matter, choices that shape our lives.
So it's about finding those red pills in our everyday lives, those moments where we choose to be brave, even when it's scary, where we say, nope, not going to do it that way, where we actually believe in what we're capable of.
And the thing is, sometimes those choices, they might seem small, like they don't matter. But those little acts of rebellion, choosing to be real, choosing to be you, that can spread, man. Inspire others to do the same.
So The Matrix, it's not just a movie, it's a call to action. It's realizing that we're not just along for the ride in this crazy simulation. We can make choices, take the wheel, even bend reality a little if we have to.
There you go. Now you're getting it. The real power of the Matrix. It's not about answers, it's about asking the right questions. The kind of film that sticks with you, makes you think differently, makes you want to live more deliberately, and to never, ever stop questioning what's real.
Couldn't have said it better myself. The real journey, the real adventure, it starts when we open our minds, and really see the world for what it is, for what it could be.
Who knows, maybe we'll even change it a little along the way.
And on that note, I think it's time to jack out of this deep dive. Thanks for exploring the Matrix with us. Catch you in the next reality.